Bueno, pues aquí estamos con Manuel Herranz, CEO de Pangeanic en el Mobile World Congress. Hello Manuel, how are you? I think very fine.
Very well, thank you.
NLP processes language. Okay, let's say that we are trying to teach a machine how we humans acquire and process language. So when we are born, we don't speak any language. We could have a Norwegian person, a Norwegian baby living in China. That person would learn Chinese. So that is a natural ability for humans. Our goal is to teach machines how we use language and the deep meaning of language. So, for example, how we understand the deep meaning, what are the key actors in text, in whatever somebody is saying, how to translate between languages, for example, how to extract key knowledge, or how to take knowledge away from sentences. The difference is that we humans, even though we only use 7 or 10 or 15% of our brain power, we can only scale so far. A machine, a computer can scale in a multiple 100 times or 1,000 times. So they can process documents much faster than humans, they can translate much faster than humans, they can identify key information in text much faster than humans. That doesn't display the human, but it provides insights and information that we would never be able to read or get there in time. Well, a very basic application, for example, is parallel text that creates machine translation engines. That's very typical. Another typical case is identification of named entities in text, so that I know that John is a person, but Paris is a location. Okay. What do you do with it? Well, you can anonymize text. That has a very direct application for the legal system, when you have to anonymize the names of witnesses, of judges, of lawyers, of anybody that is part of the process, while the forensic evidence is being gathered. There's a wide variety of clients. Government is good. We work for governments, for EU and the government in Spain. We have contracts in the United States for government agencies. And obviously, of course, private industry, financial sector. Financial sector is very interesting because they need to process a lot of data, most of it monolingual, but they need to extract knowledge from it. So anybody, financial consultancy firms, they need to anonymize data, law offices too. Those are the typical sectors. Well, it's a challenge. It's definitely a challenge, and I think it's been very well organized. The size of the event is much smaller. It's probably a quarter of what it used to be. But those companies that have done well during the pandemic is because they have technologies that have enabled them to work, even though people weren't going to the office. They were working from home. We've been one of those companies who've actually created jobs through the pandemic. So, and the fact that we're working for departments and, for example, tax agency in Spain, makes this venue very attractive, because also the connections that you can make with other startups and bigger companies coming from Korea, from China, and it's, for me, it's the beginning of a new cycle. Yes, one of our missions is to teach machines to understand, let's say understand human language, and then process it much faster. That doesn't, I think we're getting there very well. We know our path, not so much in having talking robots or having pieces of software that talk, although there are companies that specialize and do that very well and mimic human voice very well, synthetic voice. We come from the other side, from the understanding, from extracting knowledge from text, from translating between languages, and then anonymizing data. Is the talking robot going to be a reality soon? I think we are on the right path to see something like that very soon. Now, one thing is to talk, giving a text, and another thing is to have a cognitive science behind the robot. Robots now, virtual assistants nowadays, are based on databases and they have a set of questions. So whatever you ask, the robot tries to find the most likely answer to your question. They're not creative. The challenge in the next 10 years is to have cognition in machines. Yeah. Well, the fact that it's being celebrated, that it's taking place, it's already a success, I would say. There are not as many attendees as used to be some years ago when I was an attendee. But the fact that there are so many companies, large companies and small companies, pushing technology, haven't gone to sleep. They've been working and they're really producing better and better technology in many different areas, from payment systems to cognition to Wi-Fi to 5G, mobility. Mobility is going to play a big part. I'd say that's where the accent is and what I've been finding more exciting in here, mobility. No, I think they are. Yeah, they're slowly coming into it. Of course, we can't compare Europe in general to the United States or China, which is a very, very big player. Some things that China is developing are far ahead of what the US is, or even Europe. So Europe in general is lagging behind a little bit, but we incredibly, because of the language components and the fact that we have very different societies, languages and cultures inside the EU, Europe, makes us more aware of certain problems that don't fall by, that don't occur so naturally in monolingual societies. So, although yes, we're lagging behind, I'm not going to say 1 year, we're lagging behind in general. It's the push is there from the political spheres and from the administration to create successful companies particularly in our field.